Hey everybody, good morning, it's Leslie, and we're going to talk to you about down payment assistance programs. The do's, the don'ts, the goods, the bads, what really, what do they do for you, and are they even worth it? So let's talk about what down payment assistance is. For starters, for down payment assistance programs, most of the time, they allow you to come in and put a lower down payment down. So when you're buying a place for, 300,000 or 400,000, instead of putting, 30,000 or 40,000 down, which is about 10%, you can put down, 3%, which is, on 300,000, $9,000, which is really great. So down payment assistance programs are really just what they say they are. They're to assist you in your down payment. How do they work, and why are they good, or why are they maybe not so great? So down payment assistance programs can come from three places: the local county that you're buying in, the state you're purchasing in, or the federal government, through lending products in that community. So there are three places you can actually get different options from. So in Cook County, specifically in Chicago, we have the IHDA, which is the Illinois, housing. It's the down payment assistance program for the state of Illinois, right? Then we have the city of Chicago program, where there's a city of Chicago mortgage credit that they give you. We have Home Possible. There are multiple names, but at the end of the day, it's a program that allows you to put 3% down, and the rest, the mortgage insurance is lower, and the interest rates may be a little more aggressive than you would find with a program that has you putting 3% down. There are a lot of first-time buyer programs. And let me qualify, first-time buyer means you have not owned a place in the last 3 years. It doesn't mean you're just a first-time buyer, fresh out of the gate. So there are good things and bad things about the first-time buyer programs. Guaranteed Rate's got a great one, like so many lenders, that's called put 3% down, we'll give 2% to you, so your total down payment's 5%. Well, you want to get that anytime you're getting these kinds of programs, you never get something for nothing, right? So what that means is that you want to look with your eye towards, okay, what's going to give me the best bang for my buck? Okay, I'm putting 3% down. What's my rate going to be? And it's going to come with mortgage insurance. And mortgage insurance is just an additional insurance for a lender that protects them in case if you go into foreclosure. And mortgage insurance is required on pretty much anything that's less than 20% down. That's another conversation for another day, but just suffice it to say it's going to be part of the payment. And the first-time buyer programs usually give you a little break around what mortgage insurance is going to cost. But what's really important about the down payment programs is a couple things. One, all down payment programs will have usually a class that you have to take. Okay, that may be an online class, that may be an in-person class, but they will want you to go through some kind of home buyer counseling, because that's part of the lender making sure that what we're giving you, this benefit of maybe lower mortgage insurance and a lower down payment, that we know that you've looked at your budget and you're set up for success. So you'll have to deal with that, and some of them are just a couple hours online, some of them are like half a day. It just depends on the program and the state you're buying in. So that's number one. Number two is there are a lot of programs out there that you put down a partial down payment, and the lender will give you the other part of the down payment. And why that's important is because a lot of times we have a guaranteed rate program. Well, a lot of times in terms of the down payment that you're getting a credit for from the lender, a lot of times that comes with strings attached. And the strings may look like you've got to live in this place for 5 years, or you have to live in this place for 7 years, or or you then have to pay that back. And then some of them are just a grant that's that's actually forgivable. So in our case, guaranteed rate, we have what's called a gift to you, which is $300,000 purchase price. You put down a total of 5%, which is 15,000. You give 9,000 and we give the other 6,000. So, and that's a forgivable grant. So, you can move out 12 months later and not have to give that money back. So it gets kind of technical in terms of that, but here's the basic rules of the road in terms of looking at those programs. First of all, figure out, one, if you hear about the program, whether it's the city or county website you're looking at, or whether it's a lender, or whether it's a lender advertisement, or whether you're walking around and there's your realtor, realtors will tell you about it. Make sure that the program A is going to benefit you in terms of, do you really need it? Because a first-time buyer program does not give you a better interest rate than the market. It's a lower down payment. It gives you a little more room in terms of qualification sometimes, and it doesn't give you a better interest rate than everything else out there. So if you don't need it, I probably, honestly, would go another route. And if you need it, it's really a good benefit. And the interest rates, by the way, are still great. Don't let me scare you. But in terms of down payment and like that and the programs, you want to go, one, okay, where is the program coming from? Who's offering it? Two, next question, are there still funds available in the program? Very common. Chicago has a local program, and there are bonds issued, and once that money is taken, or once that money is reserved, they don't have any more money. So once that's done, even if the program's out there and advertised, it doesn't mean that the county has the funds to actually give that money to you. So that's one of the things you want to check out when you go to any of these community websites, or like the City of Chicago website, or the City of Los Angeles, or whatever that is. Make sure that the funds still exist, number one. Number two is, not all lenders work in conjunction with the community in those programs. You will see very commonly, guaranteed rate typically is always heavily involved with cities. You will see there are a couple other lenders that are consistently always in partnership with cities and counties and states to provide the best financing for first-time buyers. Not all lenders do that, and that includes some of your big banks. So be aware that that is the case. And then the third thing is, when you go to look at the first-time buyer programs, do I need it? How much am I putting down? Is it going to give me the best interest rate? And then what's the benefit? The lender should be able to explain to you, is this interest rate better than the interest rate on the market? And then if I put 3% down or 5% down, am I going to get a better benefit from using this first-time buyer program, or really am I not? Is my mortgage insurance cheaper with the first-time buyer program, versus the interest rate? Because sometimes, remember, first-time buyer programs, a little more risk, and lenders will take into account, especially when they're giving you grants, you'll get anything for free. So they're going to charge you a little more in the rate. And it's very common to see a little higher rate with any of the first-time buyer programs, because they're not going to give away free money without, lenders don't give away free money without ensuring that some of the risk is going to be absorbed. And how they absorb that risk is by making a little extra money on the interest rate. So that's pretty much first-time buyers in a nutshell. And most importantly, it's ultimately first-time buyer, haven't owned in 3 years. You need to see if you actually qualify for those programs. Most counties have income caps. The income cap in Cook County is $84,100 for a single income household. And by the way, if you're married or you have someone that's in the household with you, the income from every human being in the household that contributes is fully considered. So what you can't do is, if your husband and your husband and wife, and your husband makes $80,000 a year, and you fit right into that first-time buyer income threshold, and your wife the wife makes 30, well, you now make 110, you're over the income threshold. So one of the things you need to be quite aware of is, what is the income threshold in the county that you're going to be buying in? And on top of that, If you are over the income threshold, there are a lot of areas in a lot of cities where they encourage people to lend, they encourage lenders to lend, and they encourage buyers to buy. And what that looks like for you is, it's called a target area. So you might want to look at, hey, what if I buy in a target area and I don't make the income threshold? Not a problem. But if you are not buying in a target area, and you've got a couple incomes in the household and they're over the income limit, don't even try to get the loan, because you will get denied. That's not what these programs are for. These programs are designed to get people into homes that otherwise wouldn't be able to buy, and that may be you and it may not. If you don't meet it, there are 1,000 other ways to get you great financing on a home, which I can easily do for you. But that gives you an overall view of any of the programs that you're going to run into in any state you're buying in, and what the impact of, what to watch for, and the impact of looking at using any of the community programs you might run into. Thanks.